Hello, Judith.
Hi.
How are you? So happy to see you and to have you with me.
My pleasure.
Yeah, I would like to ask you a question. Is that NLP is it's very often seen as a technique for coaches, for trainer, or for maybe people that are sellers or commercial. But I think that NLP is useful in day-to-day life, and I would like to know you as really having been there since the beginning.
Right.
How do you think about that?
I think first of all, it's a great thing to think about, and it's a great question to ask. I think it's the difference of thinking from the position of I have a role identity, and I am a coach, or I am a trainer, or I'm a leader, and I learn these skills or techniques in order to apply to others. Right, I think that's the first thing. Okay, that was certainly part of the world, and the way it was thought of at the time, that people needed tools. But more and more over the years, and it's been a lot of years, it really, for me, has to do with what is the quality of life that I, as a human being, want to live. It has nothing to do with my roles necessarily in life, but it's about the everyday quality of my life. And when I think about little things that all people think about, what do I feel is missing in my life, or what do I feel like I want more of in my life? Do I want more sort of calm, or more peace, or a more sense of confidence just in my life in general? Do I want to feel more spaciousness in my life? I want to feel less of something, like less pressure? That NLP really has some very simple ways in which I can start think about how I'm thinking about those things.
Exactly. So,
And that for me, it comes out of some of the basic assumptions and very much less about the techniques. So I think about things like, if I have a bump in the world with somebody, am I assuming that they're wrong and I'm right? And I think, that really, that it is our everyday quality of our everyday life. That is more important than just my role, the roles that I have in life. Because in the long run, I'm going, what is that overall quality? And I always think of my dad going, life is a ticket to the greatest show on earth. Don't miss the show, And sometimes I feel sad that people are suffering and missing the show.
Yeah. For me, that one thing that really NLP brought is that everyone is responsible for his own state. So it's really state management. It's one big thing.
Exactly.
The other is to be far more conscious of what you do and how you do it. To model your own excellence or the excellence of others.
Yeah.
And the third thing might be really to have that sort of metacognition, really, and being more conscious about the relationship and what happened and what's my position. And then I see also NLP as a philosophy.
Yep, I think it has that. It has that.
And when you really, really have the presupposition really embodied, then you start to look at the world differently.
I think that's right. I think, when I hear you say about the metacognition, having awareness of how I'm thinking about something is really, really important. Having the ability to go, something happened, and I can feel myself kind of collapse. Crash, exactly, the crash state. What kind of abilities do I have naturally to really correct myself? Because this is a human thing. It's not like just something that happens to professionals, right?
Yeah. It's also really being responsible of your own state, and not say, I had a problem. My foot broken.
Yeah, my poor foot. Well, it is about, and I don't know how it is in your world where you live, but I know in my part of the world there's very much a lack of people wanting to take responsibility for their own world. And I understand, there's many things that we're sort of at the mercy of the world about, I get that. But the one thing I know for sure that we can have a choice about is the integrity in our own system. Absolutely. That's our responsibility to keep the instrument tuned.
I love of that.
Great.
Thank you so much.
No, my
Judy.
pleasure.
It was a great pleasure.